It's you against the evil Mother Brain in the thrilling battle of Metroid. You're inside the fortress planet Zebes, the planet of endless secret passageways where the Metroid are multiplying. Left alone, the Metroid are harmless, but in the wrong hands, they could destroy the galaxy. It's up to you to prevent the Mother Brain that controls Zebes from using the Metroid for evil purposes. But that won't be easy. You'll have to use your spacesuit to absorb valuable energy for your search to gain the use of power items like the Ice Beam, Wave Beam, High Jump Boots, and the Varia Suit. If you survive, it will be you and your acquired powers against the Mother Brain. In Metroid, obviously. 1986. Great game. And I cannot say enough in its praise. This is probably my favorite of the Metroid games. More so than Super Metroid, believe it or not. But I'm mostly more familiar with this one. To an extent. So, this game was incredibly popular. We know that. It was re-released for the Game Boy Advance in October 2004. And, as of right now, is the only Game Boy Advanced game I have, as I had Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced and burnt it. It was released for the Virtual Console in 2007 and was produced by Gunpei Yokoi. Yay. Isn't that great? Set on the planet Zebes, the story follows little Samus Aran as she attempts to retrieve the parasitic Metroid organisms that were stolen by space pirates. Space pirates plan to replicate the Metroids by exposing them to beta rays and then using them as biological weapons to destroy Samus and all who oppose them. The game's style, focusing on exploration and the search for power-ups that are used to reach previously inaccessible areas, influenced other video games. Its varied endings for fast completion times made it a popular game for speedrunning, and it was lauded for being one of the first video games to feature a female protagonist. Though, you must complete the game in under 5 hours for this to be revealed, with the game's instruction manual even using he to refer to the protagonist. Nintendo Power ranked Metroid 11th on their list of best video games on the NES. On the top 100 games list, Metroid was ranked 7 by Game Informer and 69th by Electronic Gaming Monthly. This is an action-adventure game and probably one of the first really popular ones in America, at least of this style. You could argue Zelda is an action-adventure game also, but it's a tad bit different. We control Samus Aran, sprite-rendered two-dimensional landscapes. Takes place on the planet Zebes, an open-ended world with areas connected by doors and elevators. We control Samus as she travels through the planet's caverns and hunts space pirates. Oddly enough, we don't see any space pirates in this game. We begin with just a weak arm cannon as our only weapon, and the ability to jump. We explore more areas and collect power-ups that grant Samus special abilities to enhance her armor and weaponry, which grant access to areas that were previously inaccessible. Power-ups include the Maru Mari, or the Morph Ball. Being in the Morph Ball mode lets us use bombs, the Screw Attack, all pretty much basic standard Metroid items and power-ups for the next several years. Chronologically, Metroid takes place first in the fictional Metroid universe. Space pirates attack a Galactic Federation-owned space research vessel and seize samples of Metroid creatures, which are dangerous floating organisms. Metroids can latch onto any organism and drain its life energy to kill it. The space pirates plan to replicate Metroids by exposing them to beta rays and then using them to attack everything, pretty much. While searching for the stolen Metroids, the Galactic Federation locates the base on the planet Zebes. The Federation assaults the planet, but the pirates resist, forcing the Federation to retreat. So the Federation decides to send good old Samus, the lone bounty hunter, into the base to destroy the Mother Brain. Considered to be the greatest of all bounty hunters, Samus was chosen for this mission. You eventually, while exploring the caverns, will come across Kraid, an ally of the space pirates, this says, and Ridley, the space pirate commander, and defeat them both. After Nintendo's release of commercially successful platforming games, including Donkey Kong, Ice Climber, and Super Mario Bros., as well as the very critically acclaimed Legend of Zelda, the company began work on an action game, Metroid. which was basically a meshing of the words Metro and Android. It was co-developed by R&D1, a division of Intelligent Systems, and Nintendo. Production was described as very free working. The composer, lost his name. Here it is. Hirokazu Tanaka actually was called in to give some input on the game's graphics and help name some of the game areas. Tanaka said he wanted to make a score that made players feel they were encountering a living organism and had no distinction between music and sound effects. The only time the main Metroid theme is heard is when Mother Brain is defeated, to give a victorious player a catharsis. How about that? Ridley Scott, 1979, the horror film Alien was described as a huge influence on Metroid after the game's world had been created. The development staff was affected by the work of film creatures designer H.R. Giger and found its creations to be fitting for the Metroid universe. Metroid had shipped 2.73 million units worldwide, and to just wonderful reception, even to this day. Just fantastic. It spawned the Metroid series, which includes Metroid 2, The Return of Samus, Super Metroid, Metroid Prime, Metroid Fusion, the remake, Zero Mission, which I did not like, and eventually the whole Prime trilogy. Other M, just fantastic game. However, a lot of people who will approach it today will say, as GameSpot noted, it just doesn't measure up to today's action-adventure standards, giving the game a 5.2 out of 10, or mediocre. Which, had Metroid, like it is now, come out in today's day and age, probably wouldn't have gotten anywhere. But it is still a brilliant game, a lot of fun to play, and without it, we wouldn't have a lot of the other games we have now.